Hey folks, Gross is here. It's been a real while since I've made a video that wasn't Blade and Soul or anything else for that matter, because I've been really addicted to that fucking game. Japanese version. I've had so many people now ask me about my Japanese. How did I learn? How long does it take? How to do it, etc., etc. I did it through a particularly unique method, different perhaps from most. Very, very effective if you're willing to kick your ass. So this video is going to basically be going into detail, mainly how to set up the parser, which is a tool used to look up very easily Japanese words, grammar, and so on in real time without wasting time having to look things up, because the more overhead you have, the harder it gets. It's not the language that's hard, it's the motivation. If you can't stay motivated, you are absolutely screwed. So it's really difficult in that regard anyways. Let's see, where will I begin? This is unrehearsed, unscripted, and this is a newer installation for Blade and Soul, so I don't have the tool installed yet, which is why I thought it'd be perfect to record. An interesting thing here also is I'm recording, not the mouse, I'm recording my desktop with a capture card off the other machine. The other machine is running my webcam as well. The audio, the microphone, everything is going off this computer. So it gets sent via HDMI to the other machine, and it stays synchronized and all sorts of cool fun stuff. I'll have to make a video or something about that later. But that was for streaming purposes. I was doing a lot of live stuff, so I've been around. I've just been doing other things, I guess. So what do we do? Well, essentially the method involves reading visual novels. Japanese visual novels are something of a unique medium to them. They're not quite games, they're not quite books. What they are exactly is hard to say. Technically, they end up qualifying as games or being called games. Call them whatever you want. Visual novels, galge, eroge, whatever. It's all the same shit in the end, and it varies from like the most god-awful, poorly written porn to like literary stuff that even makes native Japanese readers cry. So it's a good medium. And in order to do that, you need a couple tools. The easiest way to go about it is getting a tool called ITH. I'll get back to this right here in a moment. This is just going to be a very rough little thing. Nothing special here. If you need more details, you'll need to research it yourself, figure it out, tinker around, whatever. And Google Andy's ITH. ITH stands for Internet Text Hooker. And Andy's version of it, I guess, seems to be the most updated from it, based off the visual novel reader. It's a similar tool, more complicated, made by a Chinese guy, much more cloud. It's cool, but there's a lot of stuff you may not want. So you can get the tool here. I already have it installed and stuff somewhere. Usually in my Z folder, yep. So you extract it to a folder and you'll have an exe. And this is the tool right here. I don't know what the defaults necessarily are. Keep them as is until you have a need to change them. If you have, repetitive characters or something, there'll be some options to fuck around with and so on. Let's see, I do have some games still installed, visual novels, and Katagra, something I read several months ago. I don't know why I still have it. So here's an example. Typically, they all work the same. It may differ from game to game. Some works better than others. Some might need a special text command. You have to Google it. That's a whole category of its own. The basic idea is usually start the game, get some text in it. I'm just loading up a copy. So here's some text. Press once, maybe twice. Alright, so now I've got text on screen. Might have helped if I hooked into it. You need to process, hit process here, find the game's exe that's running, attach it. Okay, and it might show a bunch of weird stuff. Then get it to show you some text. Nothing weird going on with that audio, whatever. As soon as you got text going, it should find stuff in here. At which point you just start looking through them. That one's not it. That one's not it. That one's it. And then you might be able to hit save, whatnot. And then when you restart it, it'll automatically locate the exe when it's in memory, etc., etc. But this is the same thing as right here. This. See how that works? Wow, there's some weird going on with that audio, alright. Whatever. But that doesn't matter right now. What matters is you have the game, you have a hooker, so now you've got a source of Japanese text. Not from a textbook, not just from a news page. It's from your game. So from here, what do? Well, we need our parsing tool. And I will post the link down below. I have a text file of instructions for my own use on how to continuously reset this up. So this is useful, and I'm going to set it up. Hopefully it'll still work. It'll let me know, make sure it works the way I need it to on video camera so that everyone else knows. In short, it uses Firefox and a bunch of different plugins. If you use Firefox as your actual web browser, I don't know how this will work. Maybe you'll know more about profiles or something. This, I suppose, will assume you do not use Firefox as your main browser. I don't know what it will need otherwise. Maybe a portable install or something. I don't know. So I'm literally just going to install Firefox. I don't need any goddamn shortcuts. Background update services. Kiss my ass. Firefox. Can't spell the A. And I think I might already have that folder, so I'll let it go through the firewall temporarily. So I'll close this while that's installing. I even detail a couple points as to what it is. Ultimately, it's a tool that will allow you to look words up either from Japanese to English, or once you're at a higher level, Japanese to Japanese, which is a very powerful thing, especially when it's all automated. You don't have to manually type stuff out or draw the kanji, etc., which is important. Otherwise, it's more difficult to stay on track. By the way, the easily important anki. Anki is something you're going to be using, but I don't want to go into that too much. You'll have to download it and play around with its flashcard program. But essentially, you want to keep adding words into it as you come across, and then you can study them over and over through a spaced repetition type of system, similar to flashcards, much more optimized. And you also can get like furigana readings and stuff, so potential useful stuffs. Don't import anything. No. Alright. Essentially, I've got step-by-step links as to what I need to download and from where, rather than using their, I don't know what the extension manager thing is. It says right here, setup, install Firefox, go to, boom, there's the link. So in this case, I'll be using the actual Firefox to do the browsing. It says right here, download latest version and install add-on. So that looks like the latest version. XPI. Direct link. Not waiting. Allow. Appears to be corrupt. What if I just download it with another browser? And then manually. So that'll be the XPI. Let's see, can I just drag it? Okay, that didn't do shit. Where, like, it's different, I swear. Every time I've had to install this thing, it looks different each time. Extensions. I don't know if it's an add-on or plug-in. Probably an extension, I don't know. Let me just drag and drop. Install now. Aha. Okay, it worked that time. If it doesn't work within the browser, try out of the browser. You just saw me try and figure that out. Then there would be my add-ons automatically popped up. And we'd be using Japanese to English. This will be the way the Rikai Sama thing parses text and stuff and all that fun stuff. Install now. Restart now. Okay, get rid of this. Alright, so the dictionary file thing is installed. Close you. Keep that open, and I guess that open. Alright, so we downloaded the latest version and installed the add-on. Go to ROMP. Install Japanese to English dictionary. Okay, we just did that. Actually, let me just, for the sake of being certain, I'm going to still do it independently. This is a dictionary file add-on, which might already be installed. I'm not entirely certain. I don't really care. Well, let's do on a reboot, restart, whatever. Next one is install the Japanese names dictionary. A very useful tool. Very useful. And it's based off the edict, so that one's going to be all English. And I'll show you how to use it and stuff, assuming I still remember how. So this is the names dictionary. Restarts. Next, go to here, install HTML Ruby. So, yeah, essentially you've got a lot of different things to install. Add to Firefox. Install. Restart now. At least it's really simple. That's why I made all these instructions, so that I can quickly reinstall shit. Install Furigana Inserter. This is the one that magically makes it work from your clipboard. It'll be pulling from your hook tool using the clipboard and putting it into Firefox. And you'll see how that does in a moment. Guess that one's in a .zip file, or .7zip, whatever. Restart now, and I'm just dragging the XPI into the add-ons thing. It seems to work. I don't know if there's an easier way, whatever, who cares, right? And the last one here, go to download Recap. Very important, or it will not work correctly. Alright, so I took a moment to Google it. I found another link that leads to a SourceForge project page. I will have to update that so that it'll have this new link updated, so that you're not trying to find this shit the old way on the old one because it didn't work. And it's still going to be the same idea. We would be looking for Win32, or just Win in general. Still looks like they're more or less named the same. Direct link. This is not an add-on to Firefox. This is actually separate installer type of doodad. It simply runs. Well, it doesn't even really run. It just works. It's there. It's whatever. The only important thing, and I believe it's already mentioned in the that open now. Download MeCap Windows. When prompted, select UTF-8. See, you need that. You need to make sure you do that. UTF-8. You don't want Shift.js, which is the normal default, I believe. Accept the agreements. They own your soul, etc., etc. I'm going to go to different drive in my case. Yes. Apparently I already have it. I have different install drive, but it's got the old copies before I installed the new OS on the solid state. Yes. Then it's compiling a bunch of crap. It'll do its thing. It doesn't really matter. Then that is it. Now it's done. Just to be safe, I'm going to restart. Just close the fucking tabs. There's Firefox. Usually I make a shortcut or pin it here or something so that you can always quickly load it up. Let's double check. Okay, so yeah, there's the add-ons. Where's my Oregano inserter? Should have been in here too. The toolbar. Dictionary for Oregano inserter. Did I not install the... Maybe I didn't. Did I forget to miss a step here? Let's find out. Okay, these look like installers. Or add-on doodads. Just open it. That doesn't work. Okay. Install. Start now. Okay, so I guess that process is a little bit more complicated. I will update. Okay, so I took a moment to edit in that text file. I added in the links you saw me have to search for, so they're now in here. So it should be straightforward. I hope. Otherwise, just kind of do whatever the hell I did in the video. It should work, though. We're going through my configuration now. Number one, Oregano inserter, change word margin to 0. And see, this is Oregano. We're doing the add-ons. In order to get there, click on this doodad. Add-ons. These are extensions. Options. Word margin set to 0. And that's it. For Rikai Sama, there's a bunch of crap to do. Okay. Startup tab, turn on sticky mode. And some of these are not necessary, but it might help, might not. I don't remember. It's my personal preferences. Tick lookup bar on menus, dictionary tab. This one's important. We're doing what? Changing the priority order from top to bottom. Japanese English, Japanese names, and then kanji. Japanese English, Japanese names, kanji. EP wing tab. That's the optional one. This is what will allow you to do Japanese to Japanese lookup using EP wing dictionaries. And I should have some in here. I remember. Yeah. Yeah, these are the two I used, Daijin and Kojijin. Kojien. Whatever. I got a bit of a cold, which would involve adding the catalogs file. And boom. Okay. So that's how that works as far as adding it. I even put the recommendations, but you got to find these dictionaries yourself or buy them. They're not free. Clipboard and Save tab. This will be if you want to use Anki. If you're studying Japanese, you're going to want to use Anki. It's highly recommended. What this tool will do is quickly allow you to save the definition and word and reading into a text file to be imported into Anki, so you can just, as you're playing a game, hit like S or something while highlighting the word, and it'll just add it to that list, add it to the list, and then at some point you just add the whole list imported into your deck in Anki. This will give you kind of how to set that portion up on this end, not on Anki's end. You'll have to learn how to do that. It's not too bad, but it's a weird program, so whatever. I'll go ahead and set it up, although I don't plan on using it, which is why I don't really want to go into all that too much. Yeah, this is where I normally would save it. I had a just text file. In my case, in my Dropbox folder. I'll change the line ending to DOS/Windows. And then this is what will control how it imports, or, how it produces the list, like the format of it, so that when you use the import feature, it'll match up with what you need. This is subject to be whatever you need it to be. Worry about it when you need to worry about it. All right, so that was the last one. Okay, now we've got go to Firefox Options. Yes, there it is. Used to be a button up here, I swear to fuck. Change when Firefox starts. Show blank page. In my case, I'm going to use tabs from last time. And the reason is because I use a different file instead of the, if I did blank page, it would just be a blank page, and then there's probably somewhere in here to change it to, click advanced. I should get my ass back in these options. Content tab. Oh, this whole options thing looks totally different. Click advanced button to the right of fonts. At least that's still there. Change the last, change fonts for Japanese. Change the last 3 to something better. For me, I like Medio, which is either going to be in English or in Japanese. I don't know which one it tends to show up as. M-E would be the English. There it is, Medio. The other way to write it is this one, depending on your operating system. Sometimes, if you're running Japanese Windows, it may show up as this and not in English Romanized characters. Doesn't look like this thing shows anything like that, so can I just type it in? Yes, I can. Okay, go back to Content tab, select Colors. Change the text and background colors to your liking. So I usually do opposite, white text on black background. Why is it giving me a question mark? Okay, so this is what it would look like In my case, I normally open up a different file I already have saved, but that should be good as is. Every time you start Firefox, see, here it is. Okay, open a blank page. I just keep a black background HTML file open. So I'll show you what that is, but you'd have to physically make one. Like I literally made a blank.html, which is nothing more than a black background. And the reason in this case was because I had it add a whole bunch of black characters so that the new text will automatically start popping up at the bottom instead of starting at the top and then working down, and then it starts scrolling. Whatever, right? Might help if I keep this thing over here somewhere. Actually, let me just hide you up here, shrink it down just a tad. There, that should be good. So when you start Firefox, you should click, well, you want it more easily on the bar here. So I don't know how you want to re-customize it. I know there used to be a way to change it around. In my case, I eventually removed a whole bunch of crap. But the idea is you need to turn this on. First time it'll need to create a dictionary index, so let it do its thing there. And there you'll see a pop-up when it's turned on. Okay. And hit A. Then click where you're going to insert her. Select monitor clipboard. And I think this is going to be set like that regularly. You don't want anything else selected or whatnot. If anything else is checked, uncheck it. And then just some additional instructions here, but a couple odds and ends. But the idea is now we've got something that'll show Japanese. Would have helped maybe if I kept that game running, huh? Let's see, I Control C this. The moment it popped into my clipboard, there it is. And it's just a, what do you call it? Katakana word, so it's not necessarily going to show up. It's not an actual word, it's a font name. And then you hit Shift when you're highlighting something to go into dictionary mode or kanji mode or whatever. Let's refire up that game, huh? Let's get back to cartography. Shit happens. I will diagnose it some other day. I just open up a load of file. Okay, it just did it automatically because we hit save earlier. No options here yet because we need to actually get it to produce text. And so there it is. It got the without line A in this case. That, or maybe that's what was saved. Alright, so here we've got some text. And I'm going to make this smaller a little bit. Options, there it is, auto copy to clipboard. I didn't turn that on yet. If you don't have that on, you'd have to manually highlight to copy, and then it shows up here. But now that I have this, pulling it from the clipboard, it shows up here, and you can see it adds furigana to stuff. And actually, I'm going to turn off sticky mode because I don't know if I like that. Personal preference, sticky mode. I don't think that was it. Oh, I know. I think I need to restart it. Was I about to type furigana? change some text. Might help if I turn this shit on again. Monitor clipboard, so I think you do have to turn that on. Yeah, see if you have a blank page, it'll, there we go, that's what I wanted, where it shows up here, and then it'll go down, 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 whereas creating a blank file and just having a bunch of, new line characters, or black characters over black background, it'll start at the bottom and continue staying at the bottom. Okay, so that's what that would look like, in my case, but you'd have to manually make that just a bunch of hidden characters so that it starts everything down below. And let's say I click a few things. Alright, so you can see as it's playing, it's coming into here, and this is copying it to the clipboard. From the clipboard, it's going straight into here. This also works when you're browsing web pages and whatnot. Just copy the text and it'll automatically pop up here. This is like a nice tool to always have running, so to speak, regardless of what you're doing. And you can literally just hit A there to change the positioning and where it's showing up. And it'll allow you to get the definitions of the word. Right now it's doing Japanese to English. And for example, here's mirai. When you learn a new word, you might not know what this word is. Dictionary form of it is up top. Miru, that's what it looks like, but it tells you what the conjugation is. When you're studying Japanese, you're going to start learning verb conjugation, and you'll get used to it eventually, especially when you're doing active reading. So you'll know it's potential or passive negative form. So it's actually two different conjugations, mirareru, mirarenai. But it gives you, if you don't know what the fuck that means, you've now got something to at least search. Like, what the hell is a potential verb or a passive verb? I don't know. And negative form, so it's like, okay, I know it's a negative form. And then you continue on, like that. And then if I was to hit, let's say, S, it saved it to that file that we marked earlier, and then I can import that in the Rikai-sama later on, etc., etc. And here's a name, something, something, son. Now, when names happen, it, does weird stuff. It's not usually words. They're just, might be kanji and stuff like that. So it's like, oh no, what is this shit? Oh, right, it's probably a name. Press shift after highlighting the first term. And there is our name dictionary. And it looks from, the very first one looks like the candidate potential right there. So you can kind of get an idea of names. Names in Japanese can be a bit of a bitch, so take it for what it is. And this is another name, boom, shift. And there you go, name dictionary. Okay, and I'm highlighting a kanji, and I'm hitting, that's just the number 5, right? Hit shift, now it's trying to go through the names dictionary. Hit shift again, and now it's actually doing a kanji lookup. So now you see the different readings and things of that nature and all that mess, if that's something you want access to. So it gives you very, very quick lookups, and you could literally, as you're playing, boom, 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 boom. Oh, I don't know what this word is. Okay. And then you just continue on. I knew this. Tumari, blah, blah, blah. And it'll go say, I don't know what this ore is. Ore. Oh, I see. It's just a weirder way to write. Something I already did know. Okay. And it tells you like stuff like if they're adjectives and nouns and so on. And that's the basic gist of this. I'm going back into options here because I forgot what button I need. If you set up EP-Wing, when you set up EP-Wing dictionary stuffs, you may need to set a hotkey for it. Okay, yeah, there's also Sensado mode. I forgot about that. EP-Wing mode is P. Normally I had them set up to like map things important to my number pad, things of that nature when I was playing, but whatever. This is up to you how to set this up. But O and P look like the defaults for Sensado and EP-Wing. So what is Sensado? It is also Japanese to Japanese using an online dictionary. So here's the word kanojo. Right now it's giving me the English definition. And if you hit A, by the way, it changes the position of where that thing shows up. So it's up to you. So I hit O, and it'll take a moment to load, but because it's going online and downloading information. But this is pulled now from a Japanese to Japanese dictionary, a monolingual, instead of, Japanese to English, without having to install anything extra. It's already there. How good is it? I don't know. I don't really use it because it takes too long to let the thing, download and all that. Whereas I hit O again to get out of that. Now I'm hitting P. Now here is my other dictionary. This is the EP-Wing dictionary that I have installed. And there's the definition. This is the Japanese definition for the Japanese word in Japanese. So it's like, at some point, it's a nice step up to be able to look up words this way. And the best part is it still gives you the reading, the word, the reading, the definition. And if you hit S, it will save the monolingual version of it into the text file. So let me go find where this was. And there might be other crap in this file. I don't know. There is. So we added 2 entries. Let me get rid of those. And you can see, actually I got a better idea. Let me close this. I'll take this word since we were doing that. I'm going to hit S. Then I'll go into EP-Wing, hit S. And there's some more commands to switch around between the dictionary and stuff within EP-Wing. So you might have multiple definitions and things of that nature. Yes, it's been modified. I modified it. And I forgot to actually save the previous one. So here's 2 entries, word wrapped. I'm using Notepad++, doesn't matter. But you can see it gave me the word, it gave me the readings, and it's separated by a tab, and then it's separated by another tab. And there's the definition, and then there's it's the sentence in which the word showed up here. If you're pulling it out like this, and not just copying and pasting individual words, it will allow you to include this information, which you can optionally load into Anki as part of the deck setup. So it'll give you the example sentence, so to speak, using the actual sentence it came from. Very cool, I think. And if I wasn't using it that way, there's my monolingual version. Same format, so it would still work in the same way. There's the word, there's the reading. There's, I guess, another reading, but that's from the dictionary now itself, etc., etc. The definition mess, and again, well, so it functions the same way. It's just a matter of what level you're at and so on. And that's basically it. There's nothing more for me to add at this time. I'll give you a hint right now. When you pick a visual novel to read, the first one you choose to read will be the absolute most difficult thing ever. It will like within the first month, you will accomplish more than you have with, let's say, 2 years of college Japanese. It's just the difference is that drastic. All right, so I'll just leave it at this. You now have a dictionary tool, quick lookups, etc., etc. This can make or break you as far as your studies because this simplifies things and takes out a lot of the elements that just add extra overhead that makes it more difficult, wasting too much time otherwise looking up words and things of that nature. And let's say we had a Japanese web page. Actually, where the hell was that recap thing? I don't know now. So, since it was a Japanese web page. Okay, so here's a Japanese web page. And let's say I had that tool running. In the past, I used to keep it like this, So even when I had my web browser, like IRC, everything was usually shrunk, resized down so that I always had this on the right. You could probably dock it or something too, who knows. But it was something I always had up so that when I would run across something, boom, Control C. And there the fuck it is. And very quick. It took me no time whatsoever. As fast as you can copy, boom, there it is. And it's an invaluable tool. So I'm hoping this will help out some people. It'll definitely help me out because now I can just send people here to this video and be like, yeah, it's already, just follow the instructions. It'll give you everything you need. And I won't have to go into all that crap every time somebody asks me something because I can't, it's complicated and takes too much work to set up. But here, got a video, got a link to, the instructions essentially. Just follow the instructions, watch the video of me doing it, and you'll be set. So, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Croesus out.